Hello, it's Michael. In this video, we'll work on solving two-step equations formally, going through it step by step. We'll do some simple equations. To understand this, you need to know a few things. What a one-step equation is, have familiarity with that. Know what a variable is, you know your x, your y, your a, whatever. Know some basic arithmetic. I'll work through 4 equations with you. Then I'll give you 4 to work on your own, and I'll give you the answers to them on a separate slide. Okay, but generally, you need to ask why. Why do we need to do this? Why is it important? Who cares? What do I get out of it? For one thing, equations and math in general give you an important key to science. That is, to practical cause and effect knowledge. It's not some la land thing you might think of the way some science is presented in class. We're talking about the knowledge that gives you a cell phone. In other words, a thing to communicate with other people in an emergency, or to speed up your business dealings, or to communicate with a friend that's far away. A long time ago, you would not have been able to communicate with someone 100 miles away very easily, or call them and in real time make some schedule, make an appointment to meet a friend. This stuff is what gives us modern medicine, hospitals, ambulances, cars to get places, the computer you're working on. It's not a trivial la thing. It's very important. And they're important in finance, economics, business, and more. Dealing with money. So, a simple one-step equation here. P equals 45H. So this would tell you how much money you make at $45 per hour. You make 10, you have P equals 10H. So it's a simple formula for calculating how much you make working a certain amount of hours. Or here. This will tell you how much you make if you make $2 per hour plus tips. Sometimes it's the tips that gives you the real income, and the other is just a kind of basic helping wage. Here's another one. Okay, this will tell you how much energy you need to raise the temperature of a certain amount of material. Here's another one. So this is important in having car engines and getting work out of gases. Gas is in like air or oxygen gas, not as in some fluid you put in your car. Okay, it tells you how much work you get out of a gas for a certain change in volume. And it's important for lots more. And the one for work, it's just a basic thing. And a car engine, it's more complex. There's more going on. Okay, so let's get on with our equations. So now you know why this is important and useful for your future. You just know a few drops in the bucket. There's a whole heck of a lot more in your life where you can use this. Make your life better and more efficient. Okay, 2x minus 9 equals 11. We double a number, take away 9, and get 11. Now, you might grasp this if you write down what we're doing and follow along on paper. So here's the whole of what we'll be doing. You can stop the video, copy this down, and then follow along. I'm going to be doing this and nothing else. So this will let you go through everything step by step. Okay, so we're trying to solve for x, find out what the unknown variable is. We use letters in math, yeah. Why people complain about that, I don't know. It's obvious we use letters. We name things. That's the way our mind works. We've got Alexi, Samantha, Bob, Jane, elephant, table. That's the way it works. We name things. We don't name a number abracadabra because it takes too long to write. We don't name it elephant because you think of elephants. We just use a simple letter so we can focus on the math we want to get done. So we've got 2x minus 9 equals 11. Okay, what we're going to do is start by adding 9 to each side to solve this formally. Now we've got to say, okay, each side, for some reason, some people don't seem to get this. But each side means each side of the equal sign. You need to get used to that terminology because it's going to be used a lot. Each side of the equal sign, that's what we mean by each side. So here, we added 9 to each side. In other words, each side of the equal sign. 11 plus 9 is 20. 2x minus 9 plus 9 is 2x. And we're solving this by getting the x stuff alone. So we get the x stuff alone, and then we're going to get the x alone. Okay? And, like we say, we add 9 to each side. To remember why? Because a lot of people, we talk about this, then they start doing goofy things, making mistakes. So remember, an equation is like a balance scale. And we should be able to keep things equal if we added 9 to each side. It'd stay balanced. Okay, but what is a balance scale? Something like this. Or like this. So you think, if we had stuff on each side, okay, if we took 3 pounds away from one side and 3 pounds away from the other at the same time, the pans would stay balanced. They would stay level. Or if we added 9 pounds to one side and 9 pounds to the other at the same time, the pans would stay balanced. They would stay level. There'd be equal amounts on each side. And more stuff. If we doubled each side at the same time, the pans would stay balanced. There was stuff on them. If we took a third of each side at the same time, they'd stay balanced. You can think about more stuff like that. Okay, so we think of this as a balance scale. We add 9 to each side. It stays balanced. The two things stay equal. Okay, but when we do that, we're left with 2x on one side and 20 on the other. As you can see here, if you need this, 11 plus 9 at the bottom there is 20. 2x, take away 9, add 9 is 2x. You got some money in your wallet. You take out $9. You put the $9 back. Okay, well, you're back to the original amount. So we got 2x equals 20. That means twice some number. Okay, well, to get one of those numbers, we take half. If we have 2 of something, we take half. We get 1 of something. We're dividing by 2. When we do that, what do we get? Well, clearly, hopefully you got that. We get 10. Because half of something is 1 of something. Half of 2 hamburgers is 1 hamburger. Half of 20 is 10. Sorry. So x equals 10. And you see that at the bottom. 20 divided by 2 is 10. 2x divided by 2 is x. So x equals 10. That's our answer. 2 times 10 minus 9 equals 11. 20 minus 9 is 11. Hopefully you find that simple. Okay, if not, no big deal. You just need to practice, get the hang of it. Okay, so let's look at this in a different way, because this other way will be important in the future. So we have the whole thing written down here. Now I want you to notice that when we solved the equation, we did the opposite operation each time. Okay, so look how we added 9. Because we're trying to get the x stuff alone, and we got minus 9, so we undo that by adding 9. We do the opposite. We add 9 to each side. Or here, in the next step, we divide it by 2, because we have 2 times x, so we take half of that to get 1x. Okay, on to our next equation. Number 2. We triple a number, add 17, and get 35. 3x plus 17 equals 35. Again, you might want to write this down on paper and follow along. Here's what we'll do. You can stop the video, copy this down, follow along. We'll explain it. Okay? Now remember the balance. An equation is like a balance. And remember, each side means each side of the equal sign. So here we go. 3x plus 17 is 35. We take 17 away from each side because we want to get the x stuff alone. We got the 17 there, and we take it away because it's like a balance scale. If you take 17 away from each side at the same time, it stays balanced. It stays equal. So 35 is on one side. You take 17 away from that, and you're left with 18. Something and 17 lying on the other side, well, you take away the 17, and only the 3x is left. So we got the x stuff alone now. 3x equals 18. So we're partway there. And as we explained earlier, there's written at the bottom, 35 minus 17 is 18. 3x plus 17 minus 17 is 3x. That's what we did. So we have 3 times some number on one side, and we want to know what a third of that is, because we want to know what 1x is. So we take a third. We divide each side by 3. Now what do we get? What's our answer? 18 divided by 3? Yeah, 6. So x equals 6. 3x over 3 is x, and 18 over 3 is 6. 3 times 6 plus 17 is 35. And you can check that out. You can stop the video if you want, do the arithmetic, you'll find it checks out. So, again, hopefully you find that simple. But you need to practice. It's new stuff. Maybe you don't get it yet, no problem. So let's look at this in a different way. Here it's all written down. Again, notice that to solve the equation, we did the opposite operation each time. We had plus 17. We want to get that away from the 3x, so we subtract 17 from each side. Okay? The opposite of addition is subtraction, so we subtracted. And then the opposite of multiplication is division, so we divided both sides by 3. We have 3 times x. We undo that multiplying 3 by dividing by 3. All right, cool. So let's try 2 more. Y divided by 24 plus 19 is 30. So we get a number, take a 24th of it, add 19 to that, and get 30. So again, maybe you want to write it down on paper, and here's what you can copy down. You can stop the video, copy this down, and then we'll work this out. We'll go through it step by step, make sure you understand. So first thing we do is we get the y stuff alone. We got to take the 19 away from it. And remember, each side means each side of the equal sign. And think of these as a balance. Okay, and if we think of it as a balance, we can take 19 away from each side at the same time, and it stays balanced. It stays equal. Okay, but if we take the 19 away, we got y over 24 on one side and 11 on the other. As you see here, 30 minus 19 is 11. And something plus 19 take away 19 is that original thing, y over 24. You know, you got 50 bucks in your wallet, you put 19 in, you take 19 out, you're left with 50 again. So, y over 24 is 11. All right. We got a 24th of something. We need that 24 times to make the something, to make the y. So we multiply by 24. Another way to think about it is like a 24th times 24 is 1. So we're left with like the 1y. Okay, so we multiply by 24. And what do we get? 24 times 11 is 264. So 11 times 24, you multiply and get 264. Y over 24 times 24 is y, like we've talked about. So, simple, hopefully. You know, if not, no big deal, just practice. So again, let's look at this in a different way. So, to solve the equation, we did the opposite operation each time. We have y over 24 plus 19. So we have to subtract 19 to solve this, because the opposite of addition is subtraction. And then we multiplied by 24, because the opposite of division is multiplication. Cool. So you can stop that and study it if you need to. So, last one, number 4. Y divided by 4 minus 12 is 13. So we take a quarter of something, then take away 12 and get 13. Again, you might want to write it down. It might help you to follow along. And here's what you can copy down. Stop the video, and we'll work through this. But remember, each side means each side of the equal sign. And remember the balance. Okay. So if we think about this as a balance, we can add 12 to each side, and it stays balanced. Okay, you got a scale, it's balanced already. You put 12 on each side, it stays balanced. Okay, but if we add 12 to each side, we get y over 4 equals 25. Because the 13 plus 12 is 25, and the y over 4 minus 12 plus 12 is y over 4. You know, you got some money in your wallet, you got $42, you take out 12, you got 30, you add 12 back in, you got back to the 42. So now, y over 4 is 25. Okay, well, if we have a quarter of something, we need 4 of those to make a whole thing. How many quarters make a dollar? 4. So we got to multiply by 4. When we do that, what do we get? We get 100. 4 quarters is a dollar. 25 times 4 is 100. Okay? And you know, y over 4 times 4 is y. Because one quarter of something 4 times is the whole thing. So y equals 100. That's what we get. We get 100. 100 divided by 4 minus 12 is 13. Hopefully you find that simple. Let's look at this in a different way again. So notice, to solve the equation, we did the opposite operation each time. We're trying to get the y stuff alone. We're taking 12 from it. We undo that by adding 12 to each side. And then we got y divided by 4. We undo that by multiplying by 4. The opposite of division is multiplication. Okay? Now, here are a few that you could try. You can stop the video, because on the next slide we'll have the answers. So if you don't want to look at them before you try these, then just go ahead and stop the video. And here are the answers. Hopefully you got them right. Hopefully you did well on this stuff. If not, no problem. Things take time to learn, takes practice. So you can just try more, and then you'll be on your way to solving and mastering harder equations. And that's practical. It gives us what we need to know to move things, to move cars, move ambulances, move fire trucks. So, hope you enjoyed the video, and hope you have a good day.